Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. I hope everybody's doing well and having a great day so far, wherever you might be joining me from. Whether you're watching me live on Facebook, YouTube, or TikTok, it's so good to be with you all today. I have something that's been burning on my heart, and I was not going to go live. I was getting ready for bed actually to have an early night, and then I felt the Lord really tell me that I needed to talk about this today. And so we're going to get into this. It's not going to be a very long live today, but it's going to be a very powerful one. And so do me a favor, do go ahead and share this. Those of you on TikTok, you can share it to other people, repost it. Those of you who are watching me on YouTube and Facebook, say hello in the comments, everyone. Say hello in the comments, whether you're watching me here live or in the replay. If you're watching the replay, I want you to type replay in the comments. And if you're watching live, I would love to see your comments show up here on the live stream today. I've been feeling a little bit under the weather, and I've had like a super busy week and so on. And as we get closer to Christmas, there's so much going on with church and whatnot. Tomorrow I'm actually preaching in the afternoon, and then I am leading worship in the evening. So I've got a busy Sunday tomorrow, but I wanted to come on in and talk about something that I just felt so led to come on in and discuss with you today. And it's simply this, and you're going to see it. It's the title here on YouTube and Facebook. And if you're watching on TikTok, come on over to YouTube and you can watch it there. You'll be able to get a much better experience. And so what I want to talk to you about just for a few moments is this idea of what if the work was never about finding the one, but remembering who you are. You've heard me talk about this many times, about remembering who you are, about coming back to who God has called you to be. And this is where it really lands for me in this season, is once again, what I want to say to you is, what if the work was never about finding the one, but remembering that you already are? I want you to pause with that for a moment and let that land for you in your spirit. When you hear that, what does that make you feel? When you hear that, how do you feel about what I've just said? How do you feel about, when I tell you that you are the one? And I've got a program called The One. I've got a membership called The One. And if you're watching me on YouTube and Facebook, I'm going to go ahead and put that up there now. The One. And one of my taglines on there is, "You were always her. It's time to remember that you're the God dream. You're the God dream come true for a king who sees, serves, and secures." So it's super important to understand that, remembering who you are. And one of my mentors was talking about this today, and I thought it was such a divine occurrence, a kairos moment, if you will, that she was talking about it. And I already had my membership called The One. And I need you to understand something, that this is what I am passionate about in this season. Simply this: what if the work was never about finding the one, but remembering who you are, remembering that you're the one? And when I say that to you, that you're the one, what do you notice in your body? How do you feel? Does it make you feel like scared? Does it make you feel like, oh, is that me? Could that possibly me? And when I say to you, you were always her, what rises up for you? What comes up for you? Because I've come to realize something around this is that when we sit with that, oftentimes we complicate marriage far more than God ever intended. And we really make it this big mystical thing, not realizing that it's a part of your entire life. The goal isn't just to be married, or, oh, marriage is the goal, marriage is this, blah, blah, blah. Yes, those are different milestones that we might have in our lives. However, it is, we make things like, we talk about soulmates, we talk about searching, the striving, the becoming. But I actually believe in something that's a lot simpler, something that's a lot older, and something that we see in the scriptures. And that is, I believe in showing up as the one. And I really believe that as we continue to understand who we are and who God has called us to be, we will begin to show up as the one. When you show up as her, everything around your life starts to calibrate towards the new energy that you're bringing into the world. And the Bible always lets us know, in the book of Isaiah, it says that kings shall come to your light. Arise and shine, for your light has come. The glory is risen on you, and that kings will come to your light. And I really believe that if we as women in particular would remember who we are, you'll understand that there's only one you. And you are the God dream that a king is assigned to recognize about you. We often make this super complicated, and we make it mean more sometimes than what it is. Hey, JR, hope you're doing well. We often make this more than what it needs to be, not understanding that in God's grand scheme of how he sees us, I don't believe in the one. I don't believe in soulmates. I don't believe there's one perfect person for you in the entire universe, and there's like your twin flame and things like that. I don't believe that those are real things. What I do believe is that when you show up as the fullest expression of you, when you show up in your authenticity, there is something about your energy, your aura, your force field that you have, your metron, which is your sphere of influence. What you show up as attracts the right things into your life. Now, someone's going to tell me that, oh, but I attracted this bad person and this person. Why do I keep attracting blah, blah, blah? Because when you are amazing, stunning, you're beautiful, you are accomplished, you are successful, and you look like you have it going on, and you carry this sense, this strength of wisdom and knowledge about you, you will attract any and everything. But it's up to you to decide, what is it that is going to be in alignment with where God is taking me and who I am. All right. And I need you to understand that it's not about becoming. I am changing. I have shifted my language around this so much over these last few weeks, just really diving into a few things with the Lord and realizing that it's not about shifting into becoming, but it is into remembering who you are. I don't know if you know, a few months ago or even a year ago, but I've said this quite often, where I talk about remembering who you are. And I'm feeling it really strongly as we move into the close of 2025, about remembering who you are. The Bible talks about the Aza Kanigo, which is his essential counterpart. And this is from the book of Genesis, the story of Adam and Eve. The Bible says that she is his essential counterpart. She's his, she's strength aligned with his strength, but it's like they fit together in a different way. It is that idea of that Eastern concept of yin and yang, where they fit together, but they're different shapes, different colors, etc., but they fit together. So it's about being his essential counterpart. You don't have to be everybody's essential counterpart. You don't have to date 1,000 men in order to be able for your husband to see you. In actual fact, you don't even have to date at all. I wrote a post, I don't know how long ago, maybe like 6 weeks ago or so, where I talked about how many times I've been proposed to. I've been married as well. And some people had some issues with what I'd written, even though I had explained quite fully how it all happened. I did explain it in as much detail as I felt safe to do. And then, of course, I will share more detail in my paid containers with my clients and so on and so forth. And one of the things that I shared in what I was talking about was this idea of, I said that you don't even have to date in order for a man to know if you're a wife or you're his wife. You do not have to date in order for a man to know that. A man can see you, see your essence, see the kind of woman you are, watch you for a while, pay attention to how you move, what you say, what you believe. He can ask questions, he can, research, etc. And then he can decide, that is a woman that I want to pursue. And you don't even know it. This is the thing. Sometimes a man won't even tell you that from the moment he met you, he already thought and knew that you were his wife. He doesn't even have to tell you. There has been so many times where a man has said to me that he already knew before he met me. He already knew. However, as time goes on, different things can happen. We're humans and we can often, change things because of how we behave, react, respond, etc. And so that's why this idea of a modern dating concept doesn't always work as well as we think it should, because it's kind of like we're putting a solution that wasn't really necessary. And those things are super interesting and important. And so when I talk about being the Ezer Kenigo, which is from Genesis, the Adam and Eve story, his essential counterpart, that means that you don't need to be seen by everyone and you don't need to be liked by everyone. Another misnomer is when people believe, oh, so-and-so is not attractive enough for so-and-so results, and therefore it can't be true. You need to understand that who you are, when you show up as the fullest version of yourself, and that means that you're in that God-aligned version of yourself. When you walk into a room, people know there's something special about you. There's something magnetic and beautiful about you. And I always come on here and tell you stories of things that actually happened to me to let you know that it's not a one-off experience. I was somewhere today. I went out this morning. My nephews had a play that they were in, a Christmas concert at their daycare, at their nursery. And so I was there, and one of the teachers was like, oh my gosh, you always look so glamorous, you look amazing, blah, blah, blah. This is not the outfit I had on. I had something else on. And I was like, thank you so much. And she was saying to me how there's always a glow about me. Now, this is not a unique experience for me. This is something that happens whenever I leave the house. And even if I don't leave the house, someone FaceTimes me, they have something to say about it. Because when you are in your, one of my mentors calls it the God zone, when you are knowing who you are and you're tapped into that God frequency, when you're allowing Holy Spirit to work on you, when you're allowing God to really show up in your life, there is a glow about you that it goes deeper than any skincare products you could have on your face. It goes deeper than your skincare routine. It goes deeper than, how amazing your hair looks that day. It goes deeper than having enough sleep and things like that. Of course, those things help. However, there is an inner glow that comes when you realize that I am the one. When you know that there's only one of you, you are one of one. And when you show up as the fullest version of her, the man that God has for you will instantly be able to be attracted to that. And I want you to understand that you just need one man to say, I've found the one who my soul loves. This is the posture that I believe that we are moving into. And I have a Facebook group, a free Facebook group called the Godly Feminine Era. And the reason why it's called that is because I really believe that when you live your life a particular way, it gives ripple effects into other areas of your life. So a godly feminine woman knows that if I don't take care of myself, I cannot take care of my household. A godly feminine woman knows that if you live in a place where it's winter currently, that I need to take care of my body. I need to make sure I get enough sleep. I know that, there's not as much sunlight in certain parts of the world. And so therefore I need to adjust. You gotta know yourself. When you know yourself, the Bible says, as a man thinketh, so is he. As she thinks, so is she. So whatever you think about yourself is what you are creating in your world. One of my mentors, Chris Valentin, he always says this, that your words create worlds. So what world are you creating with your words? You have to be careful that what you're saying, everything you're saying needs to be things that you want to manifest in your own life. So when I say to you, you're the one, you are the one because you're one of one. So again, the question of today is, what if the work was never about finding the one, but remembering that you are the one? There's only one of you, literally only one of you. In my family, we have a couple of sets of identical twins. And even though they're identical, there are traits about them that are similar, but they are not the same. So even with identical twins, there is this concept of individuality, although they play to the twin energy a lot in their life and they recalibrate to that a lot. It is not about that at all. And so what I need you to understand as I close today is that what I am sharing about tapping into that, knowing that you're the one, is something that I am teaching inside of my membership. And the membership is now open and it's called The One. And I'm going to go ahead and show you guys on Facebook and YouTube. This is my design that I've created for it. And I absolutely love this so much. And it simply says, The One, you were always her. And then I love this tagline. Listen to this. It's time to remember that you're the God dream come true for a king who sees, serves, and secures. So it's a very specific type of man that we're talking about. It's not just any man. It is about a man who sees, serves, and secures. Knowing that you are the God dream that he was always looking for. And if you'd like to join me in the membership, the link is, the link tree is down here in YouTube and Facebook. In YouTube, it's also in the description box. And if you're watching me on TikTok, it is in the link tree in my bio. It's the first link there. You've got to step into her now. And I've really been softening into that over these last few weeks because I've had some challenges around certain decisions that I've made over the year. And I was like, God, like, what is going on? And then I realized that I've got to step into knowing that regardless of what is happening in my life, and as you know, I'm always saying this, the circumstances don't matter and they don't change who you are and who God has called you to be. So therefore, once again, the question of today is, what if the work was never about finding the one, but remembering that you are the one? And again, it's not about a soulmate, a perfect mate for this imaginary person in the world that God has created just for you. It's about knowing that when I'm the one, I am one of one. And when I show up as her in my queen energy, knowing like the Bible calls us royal, calls us a priesthood. So you show up in your queen energy, your priestess energy, and knowing that I am a carrier of the legacy of God. When you know that and you show up as her, it makes such a big difference to even how you entertain men, the conversations that you're having. The level of conversations that I'm having in my world at this moment are of such a high level that whenever I meet someone and their conversation is down on a lower level, it's like, it just feels like I am on another planet. This is what it looks like when you quantum leap. when you quantum leap into your next level where God is taking you, you've got to understand that all he wants to do is to recalibrate you to what he originally designed you to be. The goal is always for us to get back to what we originally meant to be. Lives. Different things happen. You might get married, you might get a divorce, you might be a widow, you might have children outside of wedlock. There might be different things that happen in your life. You might have never dated ever in your life. You might feel like you're never chosen, you've never been loved. But in order for you to be the one, you must change how you speak to yourself. You have to change how you speak to yourself because, like I said, your words create worlds. So what world are you creating with your words? What words are you creating with your words? What worlds are you creating with your words? And finally, that's the final thing I want to say is, this is the posture that I am committed to us recalibrating to and remembering. So what I'm talking about is less of a teaching or telling you what to do or training or allowing you to become something. No, it's about you realizing I am her. And like it says on my flyer for this, the membership, the one that I really feel like you need to join like immediately. If you have any questions about that, you can send me a message. If you're on Facebook, send me a DM. If you're on TikTok, my DMs are open as well. And it's called The One. This is our membership that I'm inviting you all to. All my ladies that are watching, I'm inviting you to join the membership. The One. You were always her. That is something that you need to really let it settle in your spirit today. Let it settle in your spirit today. And this is the final tagline I'm going to say one more time before we close out today. It's time to remember that you're the God dream for a king who serves, sees, and secures. You are the God dream come true. When he knows and he sees you, he knows that you're his dream come true. But one of the reasons why maybe you haven't attracted that into your life so far could be because you don't see yourself as the one. And you've got to come up higher. So in this season, and I'm not waiting till January 1st to get into this. The membership is open now, and we are getting started right away. As soon as you join, there are so many hours of classes that you can join. I've got some of my amazing masterclasses that I've done over the last 2 years, and there's a few of them in there. I don't want to overwhelm you, so you'll probably get a new masterclass every single month, as well as we're doing fresh new things starting. You know what? I'm actually going to do something before the end of the year. We're going to do one masterclass before the end of the year as well, a brand new one that is going to get you set up for the next year. Because I believe that if you just change your mind, change what you say, you will begin to see what you say. And when you recalibrate your language to this, again, I'll say it one more time. The name of this video today is this: what if the work was never about finding the one, but remembering that you are the one? God bless everybody. And I would love to see you inside of the membership. So God bless. I'll see you soon.